All right, so what happened is
Why tonight, for one thing?
40 days of uncertainty
because
and hardship for more than 1
let's
million
let's
federal workers, many of
let's
whom were
say
deemed
this.
essential and
Yesterday,
required to
we
report to
heard
work for the
inklings of
entirety of
Schumer
this
saying, "Look,
shutdown,
we're gonna
along
fuck with you
with
guys.
so
We'll
many
get
of
with
those
you,
federal workers who
Republicans,
do
and
live
we
paycheck
will
to paycheck. And this
do some sort of
expected
bill that
passage of
extends
this bill
one
comes
thing
as the
if
shutdown
you'll
really
open
reached
up
a
the
new
government
level
instead
of
of
Yeah.
everything
pain
that
over
we're
the
asking
weekend. We
for."
heard from
Right.
Transportation
I'm guessing
Secretary
that
Sean Duffy
once those
warning that
conversations
they are
started,
going to
the
reduce
Republicans and the Democrats
air
split up,
travel to
went
what
into
he describes as a
caucuses, came back
triple
out
heading
today,
into the very busy
and then
Thanksgiving
8
holiday
Democrats
travel season.
decided to
And
go
on
with a
SNAP
different
benefits,
plan,
those very
not
critical
even Schumer's
nutrition
plan,
benefits that
a
42
different
million
plan.
Americans
Schumer
depend
voted
upon
no,
to eat.
from
The
what I'm
Trump
hearing.
administration had curbed
And
the
this plan
decision to
supposedly
Okay.
limit those
extends some
benefits to
of
about
the Obamacare
65%,
credits, not even all.
creating
No, I'm
additional
sorry.
hardship there. In the heart of the issue driving
This
this
vote
shutdown
says
has
that
not
we can
just
talk
been
about
that
it
Democrats wanted to
after
extend
opening
those
up the
Affordable Care
government.
Act, Obamacare enhanced subsidies before they are set to expire in the coming weeks. President Trump making
Huh?
his opposition to that
We can
very
talk
clear
about
in
it,
recent
Laura.
days.
You know
We
what?
also heard a shift
You're
in
not going to
tone
get
from
the
President
extensions,
Trump
but
in
what I'll
recent
do
days
is we'll
following
have a
that
vote on
Tuesday
it if you
election as
open up.
Democrats really swept
What
some
was
of
all
those
this for
key
then?
races. President Trump
You
did
fell for it
warn that
again? It's
Democrats were
hard
not
to
shouldering
believe
enough of the blame for this shutdown.
that,
To,
like
He also
Charlie Brown,
intensified both
that's
publicly
holding
and
the football,
privately his calls
while
for
the girl, while
senators
Lucy
to
holds the
end the
football, will
filibuster.
still
His
run and
60 vote
kick nothing.
threshold for passing
It's hard to
legislation, the
believe
president
that they
ramping up
believed
that
that.
pressure, even
It's
though
hard to believe.
lawmakers on both sides of the
Trying
aisle
to
were making it
figure it
clear
out.
that was just
That's
not
what
going
happened,
to
Laura.
happen. So all of these
I
pieces
wish there was an
clicking into place.
explanation
There
for
are
it.
two
There's no way to
key
tell it to
moments
you in a
here for
logical
in this
sense.
bill for federal workers. Number
uh,
one, this bill
I'm
does
I'm
say that those
dumbstruck.
federal workers who were fired during the
There's no
shutdown
way
will
to
be
make it make
reinstated
sense.
and fully
We
paid.
just had a court.
Separately,
The
President
Supreme
Trump
Court
signed a
just
law
said
back in
we're going to take
2019
it back
after the last
to the lower
very long
courts and let
35-day
them
government
decide
shutdown,
on it,
ensuring that all furloughed
giving the
workers
full snap.
would receive back pay. In
And
recent
instead of
weeks, the
waiting
president had
for
called
that,
that into
you say, you
question,
know what? I
but we
just can't
have
take any
learned
more.
that they
I just
will
winning too
be
fucking
paid.
much.
But we are
I can't
watching very
take
closely to
anymore.
see
I'm
how the
just winning
president
too
reacts to this
goddamn much.
bill,
Oh
whether
my
he
God, I'm
supports
winning
it.
again
Right now,
and
we
again
do
and
have
again.
budgets
I
scheduled
can't
for
do this.
tomorrow
It's
at
too
8
much
p.m. at the
pressure
Syrian
to keep
Parliament here in the White
winning.
House. That meeting for now is closed to press polo.
I gotta
Seems
go
like you're fine
lose.
waiting
I
for
feel
that
better
statement
there.
coming out from the president.
I feel
Hopefully anytime
better
soon,
there.
when that happens. I want to go back
Like
to
a
Governor
cock.
Raju on the Hill, if I could,
Like the
and more of
bottom
the
bitch
reporting
looking
that
at
he's
me getting
had
fucked.
all
I
these days,
like it
specifically the
there.
question of what the
That's
options
where I
could be for
want to be.
Democrats. Manu, you're the expert in this.
Yeah.
I'm looking far ahead.
Get it?
Here.
No,
As
that's
you
it for
reported
him.
earlier tonight, part of the
That's
compromise
him. Out.
is a
Out.
guarantee
Out.
of an
Out.
ACA vote in the not too distant future. But as you've also reported, with perhaps little
Sorry,
to no
guys.
support from the president, I mean, does this set us up
I'm
for
not a
another
professional
heated fight
commentator.
down the road? Do Democrats have an
I
option, perhaps,
I can't do what these people are
really
doing
sort of
on
throw a
CNN.
wrench into things
I
when it
cannot
comes
just give
to,
it to you
to funding the government
like it
again?
doesn't
Yeah,
mean anything
that's
to
a
me.
great question, Paul, because that
I'm so
certainly happened. In fact, the same
unbelievably
Democratic senators who
pissed
cut this
at
deal
what
were just asked,
these
how about the next
Democrats
time down the
have
road when
put
there's another government
people
funding
through.
deadline and you don't get what you want
The
in
minute that
healthcare,
they
are you
cave,
going to fight this
it's
en
all
masse
their
when
fault.
that happens? And they said, we're going to keep all
Because
options on the
everybody
table.
else was
And
willing
just
to
as a quick
say,
reminder about what this deal
we
actually includes, it includes an
we
extension of
can
government funding through January
deal with
30th.
the
So
pain
if
and
and
the
when this
anger
becomes law,
if
and
we
there's
know
every
that at
expectation
the end
that this will become law, that
our prices
that's the
won't
next
go up
deadline,
to
January
$2,000 a
30th,
month.
which means
We
that
can
that
deal
will be
with
the
it.
next
Thank you for
cliff to set
fighting
up.
for
Now, it's
us.
part of the commitment that the Senate Majority Leader, Republican
But
John
the
Thune,
minute you
agreed
cave,
to was to
all
allow
you've
a
done
vote
was let
in the
people go
Senate on
hungry
a
for
bill dealing
nothing.
with the Affordable Care Act that Democrats would draft. And he
For
promised that the
nothing.
vote would happen no later than the second week of December. So there is
Now
no
those
expectation that
prices are going to
bill
go up
will
every
pass the
month.
United States Senate. It almost certainly will not pass the
And
United
they
States
still went
Senate, because it
hungry.
would likely need a 60 vote
We were willing to
threshold
take
to
the
clear.
pain
They are
to
not going to get
deal
60
with the
votes
now
on this unless something
for the promise
dramatically
of a
changes,
later
not alone
that made
passage in the
sense
House
of a
and
fight
getting the
back
president to
of
sign
the
into
only
law. So
tool
there's
you
no
seem to have left
expectation
because
that
you
this
can't ever
bill
seem to pull
ultimately will
anything else
become
out. You
law,
finally
dealing with the
pulled
Affordable
one
Care Act. So that's why
something out. out.
Do
The
Democrats
courts
fight
were
this again
sending
in
it back.
January? How do they
Supreme
deal
Court
with
sent
as
it
we
back
head into the midterm
to
election
be judged
year
again
next year? That's going to be a
to
big
make
question for
sure
them on how to
that
fight this
people in
in the months and weeks
Pennsylvania are
ahead.
getting
But
their SNAP. because of a
Also,
judgment.
Paulo,
People in
perhaps
California are
this
getting snapped
fight
minus
may
$200,
cause them
albeit
to,
because of a
to
judgment.
think
But you're just
again
winning
about
too
whether this
much.
is the right strategy, given how long this shutdown went on and how
Too
painful
many
it was for
elections.
so many Americans. Maybe they'll decide next time
Too much
it's not
proof.
worth it.
The president of
Without
the
a doubt,
United
a moment
States
of
is
reflection
tapping
for
his
lawmakers
fat
on both
fucking
sides of the
sausage
aisle. Tony
fingers
Raju, Betsy Klein, thank you
all
both
over
so
Truth
much for
Social
reporting
saying,
this
get
weekend.
rid of the
The latest out of
filibuster. You're
Washington.
just winning
Okay,
too
let's go
much.
back to
You're
CNN senior
crying too
political
much,
analyst
and
Ron
you
Bernstein,
can't take
joining
it.
us from Washington, D.C. with a little bit more.
And here we
Ron, you
are.
heard from our reporters right now.
This
our
is the time
correspondents really
after the win,
breaking down
not
what this
before the
means.
win,
I was also
not
struck
when
by
it was
what I heard
dicey.
from
After the
one
win,
senator earlier today.
it's
Saying
when you come
essentially,
in and go, you know
doubling
what?
down on
Now's
his
the time to
support,
give up.
saying that the Democrats had essentially exhausted
Now that
all
I have leverage,
options,
now's the time to
which is
give up.
why some of them
Now that
joined
I have
Republicans.
states that
Do you
you
agree with that?
gerrymandered, proving you'll never be able to
So look, as
gerrymander
I said
enough,
before,
and your
government
your
shutdowns have not
jobs
been
are on the
the threat
line,
of nuclear
now
weapons,
is when I
as
give
their
up.
proponents have often thought. I mean, Republicans put
Now
$1
that I've
billion to fund
proved
their
to you
budget by
that
shutting
you're
down
going
the
to
government in
lose in
95. And
2026
as I
if
said,
you
Ted
don't
Cruz could not
succumb
get
to
Barack
our
Obama
demands,
to
now that the
unravel
courts
Obamacare
are with me
by shutting
and
down
have
the government
voted in my
2013.
decision over and over
But,
again,
you know,
and
I
now that
think
we've won
Democrats won
states
here
and
unquestionably.
battlegrounds
I mean,
and
basically,
attorneys
Trump calculated
in
that
red
if
states,
he
now
went
is
on
when
with
I
pressure,
give up.
in particular by cutting off SNAP benefits for low-income families,
I'm
that
lost.
enough Democrats would essentially
I'm
keep him,
lost.
and they did. I mean, there's just no other way to look at it. This is a deal that gets them very little. As Manu says, it virtually guarantees that these subsidies will expire at the end of the year. Now, you know, the strange geometry of all of this
I'm
is
lost.
that 60% of the people who get those Affordable Care Act subsidies live in Republican
Let's
controlled
watch this
districts.
bullshit.
They're utilized most heavily in red states in the South that are among the 10 states, only 10, that refuse to expand Medicaid under the Affordable Care Act, and people go on the exchanges using these subsidies instead. So there are a lot of Republican voters, you know, basically working class voters across racial lines who are going to be the most hurt by this, and it is going to be a cross for Republicans to carry into the midterms if these subsidies expire, particularly if they use the expiration of the subsidies as a justification to try again to repeal the Affordable Care Act, as both the president and other Republicans like Lindsey Graham have said. But there's going to be intense fury, I think, in the Democratic Party that immediately after an election that showed the party gaining a lot of momentum with a genuine backlash against Trump, measured not only in high Democratic turnout, but a switching among Latino voters in particular who voted for him in 24, that to choose this moment to essentially kind of say, okay, we gave it our best shot. That's all we can do. I think there's going to be a lot of pushback in the Democratic Party. And don't forget, it's a handful of senators that ultimately did this.
Who are these 8?
And I think that that's such an important point. The first thing that came to mind as I was watching this vote unfold was, you know, what about the constituents? How will this essentially, how will it go over?
No.
Okay.
No. What's going to happen right now is we're going to find these constituents. Who are these 8?
Right on screen right now. RNSH gave us the names. Hassan, King, Cartez Masto, Shaheen, Kane, Fetterman, Durbin. Yeah, well, Durbin and Rosen. Durbin? Rosen, I mean.
Thank you. Let's leave these up. I want to leave these up for a while. I want guys out there, listen. You guys know I work very closely with the with a few different campaigns. But the one who I work with most closely as far as actually doing things politically with them is Malcolm Ritchie for Congress in Ohio. And, you know, internally right now, I can tell you everybody's worried because these Democrats just tanked everybody's chances with this move. Why is it they hate winning so much? Why are they so afraid of winning? What are they hiding? I mean, we were on a high in this campaign, ready to move forward. We had so many things going and moves to make. And in one day, in 24 hours, he has just tanked that campaign. And we have to go fucking do strategy sessions for the next who knows how many days until we get to Washington on the 20th. I hope to see you, all of you, there from the 20th to the 22nd. While we're busting in this Capitol and these people's offices, demanding we remove this regime.
Yeah.
You know, what is he supposed to tell his people? What is he supposed to tell his folks? Who the fuck is going to vote for you? He has ruined these 8 people: Hassan, King, Cortez Masto, Shaheen, Kane, Foggin, Fetterman, Durbin, and Rosen have single-handedly ruined every Democratic person running in 2026. Destroyed them. And when you were sailing high, when you had it, when it was at the point where people were going to come out who were never even going to come out before, they saw something Tuesday they'd never seen before, and they said, yes, you know what? I'll be there in 2026. You finally had them. You finally had them. And it was too good. I'm lost. I lost. I'm lost. I wish I had a word for you out there, guys. I'm lost. What was the winning for? What is the winning for? Guys, somebody talk me off the ledge. I'm lost. What am I missing? We knew people were going hungry. If that was the problem, then you've just made it for nothing. Because now they went hungry and the insurance is going to go up in December or January. All you did was cause 2 more problems than the one you had. You failed. You're a failure. You're a failure at leadership, at decency, at politics. You're a failure. Utter fucking failure. Disgusting failure.
From the center of the political universe,
Capitol Hill.
My Democratic source tonight is Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren. If you don't get what you need from Congress, can you achieve what you're trying to achieve?
And beyond.
We're live on the ground in Israel tonight about the Gaza.
Mary's Bun Shop. Nah, too boring. No. Ugh. Yikes.
Yeah. Somebody help me out.
I can't. I can't. I don't. Something's echoing here. Do you hear an echo?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
If you do.
No, I'm good. Seems to be okay now.
I just list, Central Screwdriver. That list is right up here. Hassan, King, Cortez Masto, Shaheen.
Yeah.
These are all senators. The Senate's what did this. Now, what I need to know is if it goes back to the House and they have to vote on it or something like that. I'm not sure. Meet them where they live. No problem. As long as it's public. As long as it's public. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. I'm with the bullshit.
Oops. Sorry.
I want to put it back on. Hold on. I got you. We're too upset to do our jobs right. We are not professional commentators.
Sorry. You know me. I gotta have a little giggle. Gotta break the Sarge down. Come back down here. Let's discuss
Is
this
it
and then
wrong? Is it wrong to kick
or
nuts?
not.
I'll tell you what. Allow me. You know, normally I would say it is wrong to kick nuts, right? It's not. It's not something you want to go around doing to people. It's also illegal, so don't do it.
Wanting to, yeah, that's all
But
right.
wanting to,
That's like every hour for me.
oh, metaphorically, we got to kick nuts. Here's the deal: despite my anger and outrage, and despite yours, that's why we've got more people on this stream than we've ever had right now.
Yep.
Because of the anger and the outrage that's going on. I hope I'm a useful vessel for that. Huh? I hope I'm a useful vessel for that. But more importantly, the one thing that I'm going to do is not stop fighting. Because on the 20th through the 22nd, if you thought I was mad before, we're not going there to do picket signs in the park. We're not going there to stand around in a park and listen to music. That's the 22nd. On the 20th, we're going inside the Capitol. Inside the Congress people's doors and their offices and demanding, thousands of us strong. You don't need gas masks and flagpoles and an insurrection to go in there. Did you know that? Did you know that? Did you know that all you have to do is pass through a metal detector and you can go in there anytime? We've decided that time is the 20th. Peacefully. But hear this now, peacefully, but assertively. In every one of those doors, demanding the removal of this regime. Get the process started now. Or we'll be here again. They have not had to feel the problems, the wrath, the consequences of our power. Our power is derived from numbers. 10 or 12 or 100 or 200 is not enough in Washington. If we can have 7 million across America, give me 1 million in Washington and watch shit change. Give me one. Surrounding that place, in those offices. Watch the fear in their eyes. You don't have to be violent. You just have to be a lot. That's all. How would you feel if 1 million people were outside of your office, pouring in your door, demanding change? You don't have to lift a finger, but they have to feel that they can't get away with this shit. I'll be there.
Enough of this shit.
Yeah,
Enough of this shit.
I'll be there. I'll be there. Guaranteed. Let's see what these people have some excuses. And wouldn't it be funny if the Texas Republican John Cornyn was the one who saved it and still didn't vote for it because he at least sees the writing on the wall, unlike the people who were winning?
Compelling and representative too, as you were just sort of referencing, representative of what their base wants right now.
No.
Not even one little bit.
No.
Let me ask you about this line from Senator Hassan, because she
said
did say this part,
You don't like to hear
about
that, do you?
Donald Trump exploited sick children versus hungry children, and they had to be basically the responsible ones to make the choice between what they needed to prioritize. And I think I'm not saying like that's a talking point, but I understand the framing that between the children who are losing the benefits on SNAP, they are now going to get that extended for a year. And same with WIC. They now have fiscal funding for the entire year if the Republicans follow through on their promise. And so they had to make a choice between the sick children and the hungry children, and that's the choice they made.
And that was going to happen regardless whenever this shutdown ended, period. That was all of that is a given. So beyond that, what did the Democrats get? And I acknowledge, right, no one wants this shutdown. This is the longest government shutdown. People are really hurting. The Republicans run the entire federal government. Democrats were making great hay getting that point across. I just so worry again. I go back to this moment. And by the way, it's
Nothing.
utterly bonkers that at this point,
More than
any
nothing.
Democrat
Or less
trusts
than nothing.
any Republican to
Less than
negotiate
nothing.
More
anything
nothing.
in good faith.
We got less
Nothing
than
but
nothing.
nothing but
anything
nothing.
Trump
Because you know why
signs,
it's less
Trump
than
will
nothing? Hold
decide
on,
what
guys.
money he spends or
Let
doesn't
me finish
spend.
this.
Why would Democrats even want to go down that road again? They had the American people with them. Just fight, people asked them to do. But those 8 Democratic senators, I get it, right? They're institutionalists, right? We've got to do the right thing here, right? But there, as I think it was Castro, your earlier guest said, there's a higher good that most Americans understood what the Democrats were fighting for.
Yeah, hold on. You know how it's worse, less than nothing? Because if they hadn't done it, people wouldn't be hungry now. You got less than nothing. You got negative. You hurt people. You destroyed lives for nothing. Rather than just let the Republicans destroy the lives, you assisted in destroying lives, therefore getting less than nothing for it. If you had shut the fuck up and done nothing and continued to lay down like you always did, you would have at least got nothing.
Chantal, the names are on the screen. Or
I like this
thanks,
guy. Who is this talking?
RNSH.
In the White
Walsh?
House, like
Somebody
Democratic
Walsh.
voters get that.
Okay.
The party
think he's a
still
former Republican,
has a hard
too.
time understanding that this is not 1995 Republican Party, and there are some Democrats
Exactly.
in the Senate that still want to cling to that Republican Party. That ain't never coming
Yep.
back.
So we were talking before, Congressman, about the fact that they got this pinky promise. Democrats got this pinky promise to have maybe a vote in the Senate, at least in December, but who knows about
Can we from now on call it the pinky promise? Well done. I like that. This is the pinky promise. We've got a pinky promise, guys, from somebody who uses his pinky and shoves it in his ass on Grindr all day.
No, it's just so many parts of this this narrative, the developing story are
Too soon?
extremely perplexing to me.
Yes. And you're asking the wrong person because I agree. I'm as you're perplexed. I'm just pissed off.
Could
it's too
be,
late.
Des.
It's Sunday night. I'm just pissed off. My brain's no longer working. So it doesn't make any sense to me. Here's what I worry about. The base of my new political party, man, has never been this energized. And I worry about that base being depressed. Now, look, Trump is Trump, and they'll crawl naked across broken glass to vote against him. But this does not help. This does not help.
Hey,
Do you think Chuck Schumer needs to go after tonight?
Oh, here's the question.
He should have gone a year.
Thank you. Nobody needs to hear that fucking answer. Everybody knows he should be gone, except him. Wait a minute. I want to put that back. Put that back.
I did. Oops.
Check this out. No, this one.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. Check this out, people. Check this out. This is so important. This is so important. What happens when you have corporatists masquerading as leftists? And they weren't masquerading. You kind of have to be a center-right Democrat to win in Nevada, supposedly. Although I can tell you that we've got somebody in Arizona very close who is absolutely far left, and we plan on putting her in that state house. Her name is Aiden Swallow. Check it out. I've done a few interviews with her. I got another one coming out tomorrow. I was going to wait to edit it, but now it's too important. It's too important. I'm going to have it out. More importantly, these people, guess who owns those airlines? Republicans. Yes, they do. Guess who owns those casinos? Republicans. Yes, they do. Guess who owns the parking lots, the lighting fixtures? Guess who owns the glass companies, the building titles? Republicans. They own that stuff. They were the ones hurting which is the point of the shutdown. You see, the brothels are owned by the Republicans for sure. Those same ones who break Grindr every time they have an RNC. And this person, what was that? Des was extremely on point, acutely on point. Thank you so much, Long Fanfic. Thank you so much. She was extremely on point when she said, look at the people who voted for it. I bet you it has a lot to do with that tourism rate, the Nevadas, the Las Vegases, right? The people who make all of their money on tourism, they're hurting. You know what's hurting Nevada? You know what's hurting Las Vegas? Is the fact that all of the casinos raised their prices, stopped working on the weekdays, and no longer paid their workers. All of them. You been there lately? Have you seen it?
No Canadians there lately.
There's no Canadians there, that's for sure. But what they used to do was lower their prices so more people would come. Instead, they said, fuck that. What we'll do is we're just going to try to cater to the Dubai people. And they failed because they're not Dubai. They're candy canes and light fixtures. That's what it is there.
Thank you, Tumblr Witch.
Wow, thank you, Tumblr Witch. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are coming through. I appreciate that so much. So it's important.
Penny.
Thank you. It's
There's
important.
a blackout coming.
This blackout is already here, and I have yet to
yeah. If you haven't started already.
yeah, it's already here. I have yet to put it out here because of everything else going on. I hope you forgive me. I will put it out. I will let people know that there are specific companies. The main blackout means don't shop anywhere. Like, try your hardest to just, stay local at best, mom and pop, right? At best, save, grow. We're trying to do the gardening, but there's also specific companies that we want to say absolutely not, right? Barter. You know where's a good place to barter? Unfortunately, Facebook Marketplace.
Damn it, Benny. I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh my gosh.
What happened?
Her dog needs surgery. Well, you know where I'm going to reach out to you later, okay, hon?
Yeah. Thank you for that, Laura. Yeah. I mean, people are hurting out here. A little bit of fight would have been nice. Would have been something to look forward to. I'm sorry to hear that.
Great question. Great question. Our understanding is he is on his way, and I have been told by a top Senate aide that this will be happening soon, but obviously this is a much more protracted evening than I think even they were expecting. So hopefully we'll get some better sense of exactly what the holdup was at some point, but all indications are he's going to vote yes.
Thank you
He would need a
so much,
60th vote to overcome the filibuster, so you'd have 52 Republicans teaming up with 8 Democrats to get to that 60-vote threshold, thus advancing this bill. There are still several more steps in the Senate before they can send this over to the House. House presumably will be here sometime midweek. They're on a 48-hour notice, and then they would have to vote yay or nay on that before sending it to the president to reopen the government. Just to kind of remind you of what this framework is that they are working on here, this would be a stopgap spending bill to reopen all of government through the end of January. So that gives us a few months. And then on top of that, it's dealing with 3 appropriations bills that had been negotiated in a bipartisan way over previously. And this would fund them for the remainder of the fiscal year. So think of the Department of Agriculture. That includes SNAP benefits, ensuring that there's not going to be a lapse of them again at the end of January.
Again is the word. It's already been one for nothing.
Hi there, cutie. Yeah, we have a list of them.
As we get
8
into
so far, I
the
think.
new year. But
Where's
obviously, as
it's exactly
that list
8.
again?
We've been talking about throughout the night.
We're waiting on Cornyn, I think.
No, I think they're still waiting.
Does not include the principal demand that Democrats have had since day one as part of this standoff, which is addressing those expiring Obamacare subsidies that obviously will prevent without them being there, we will see a skyrocketing rise in the premiums that folks are going to have to pay. The marketplace for Obamacare already opened earlier this month, so people are going on and logging on and seeing these numbers that are astronomically in some cases higher than what they were paying this year, and those prices will go into effect into the new year. As part of this plan, though, there is a promise of a vote on something addressing those Obamacare premiums by middle of December.
Okay. I can't listen to
There
that
it
word
is.
again.
Thank you again.
Yeah, thank you so much, RNSH. Our savior over there. Every time you hear this is what I want you to think. Pinky promise. When you say, well, what did we get for this? Even Chuck Schumer, you know what the reason why he voted no for this? Because his plan was to cave, but he wanted to cave but get something in return for it. Chuck Schumer's plan was to cave, but get at least 1 year extension, and not keep it, but just a year extension of the ACA benefits, of the what do you call it, the special exemptions. He wanted, even Chuck Schumer, the weakest, buck-kneed idiot and oldest in Congress right now, that I would still want out, was going to cave. But his caving wanted at least something in return. You will cave and open it up if you give us 1 year extension of the tax credits, of the Obama era tax credits. And these 8 Democrats said, no, that's not enough. It's not enough kneeling, even for Chuck Schumer. No, we want to make sure that we get a pinky promise. We don't need the year extension. We want a pinky promise of a year extension. Can you believe it? Can you believe it?
I'm still stunned, but I can now fully believe it.
So Chuck Schumer, the worst person in Congress until today, had an idea. You know what, Democrats? Even though we won on Tuesday, even though we trounced them, even though Fox News is crying in their tear cups, in their red hat tear cups, the red hats have taken off and holding buckets of their tears after Tuesday. Even though we've had judges say we're going to make sure these people get their food stamps, it might be late. Even though we've won more and more ground, even though every poll says the people blame the Republicans, as they should. It's just too much winning. Hey, Sonia. Even after that, it was just too much winning. Do you understand what I'm telling you? This is not like they did it if they did this last week, you could say they couldn't handle the pressure. They did this after we won. With the wind at their backs. They did this after the entire country said, go forth, young man. Poured the water at the end. The finish line is over there, and people are shoveling water, standing beside them, cheering. And that's when they gave up. I'm lost. I'm lost. Des,
you rock. Thank you.
Des, I'm lost. That's when you gave up. And even Chuck Schumer, the point of the whole rant was Chuck Schumer came yesterday and said, you know what? I'm willing to bend over for you guys, even though we won. All I ask for in return is a 1 year extension of the ACA credits. 1 year, which is less than what we wanted. And I was pissed when he did that. Then they went into a room, spoke to some airliners, came back out today and said, forget it. I don't even want that now. Chuck Schumer said, what the hell, guys? I'm supposed to be the weak one. Chuck Schumer didn't vote for this. Chuck Schumer, the Bauer in chief, Chuck Schumer, the minority leader, who has given up on everything he's ever done since this guy, the orange cankled one, became president. Chuck Schumer, that guy, didn't vote for this because the way he wanted to bow down was even stronger. He said, all I ask for is a 1-year extension. These 8 Democrats that you're about to see on your screen now, these 8 Democrats.
Hit them again. I'll get it
got
back.
These 8 Democrats that you see on your screen said, you know what, Chuck Schumer? Your year extension is too much. Instead, let's do it for a pinky promise. They got nothing. They got nothing. They got the same person who told them, listen now, the same person who told them that a Supreme Court justice can't be nominated in the last year of a presidency anymore. Lied and then voted for a Supreme Court justice in the last year of Donald Trump's presidency. They believed that guy on a pinky promise. That's that guy. That's the guy who they believed. YouTube. That's the guy. That's the party. They believed the guy whose black son we haven't seen in years. And his other son shares his porn with him. So they can be accountability buddies. That's the guy they believed on a pinky promise. If you open it up, then maybe we'll start talking about the ACA. You mean like when you broke it down a week ago? Just a month ago? You got rid of it. What's the promise you're looking for, Dems? What don't you get? They just voted to end it. What was the promise you're looking for? Laura, are these the same people who just voted for the big ugly bill? That just said we cannot have these tax credits anymore? That just voted to end all of the credits?
Yeah.
Okay. No. You're right. You got to think about that. Like, it's hard to believe that's the ones that you said you just made a pinky promise with to open the government with, and made a pinky promise that they're going to think about it again. The ones who just voted against it. I got you. Fetterman, Durbin, Rosen, Kane, Shaheen, Cortez.
Good night, Pamela. Good luck.
King. Thank you, Pamela. I gotta go too. I'm gonna leave this up for a while. Let these people listen to this. I know that you don't want somebody yelling at you forever, but my Jesus, Lord have mercy on a Sunday. What is going on? All I know is this, people. All I know is this. I hope to God you're as angry as I am. If you can't get there on the 20th to the 22nd, it's acceptable because life is real. But I implore you to get there. But if you can't get there, get angry. Call. These 8 people on your screen right now should never have another happy night ever again. They need to feel the hunger that all of the SNAP recipients felt for the past Lord knows how many days while they believed in something and were shit on. They should never, ever walk into their offices again without looking around both corners. Huh? Get a group. Get a text group. Get a calling group. Get an email group. Get somebody there every day or call every day, or fax every day. Get a group of people who can coordinate faxing every day until the ink dries out. Get people to drive by in buses and come out and say, where is Shaheen's office? I'm looking for it. Organize it. Do it yourself, and then organize 2. And then let 2 become 4. And then let 4 become 8. That's 1 for each day and an extra when someone gets sick. And then make that 16. They should never rest again until they're gone. Until they feel the hunger of the people in SNAP who believed in them. Some people have not eaten. I wouldn't be surprised if some are already dead. Because they thought this was a war. We thought this was a war. If I had known that this was not a war, that this was patty cakes and pinky promises, I would have not gone along with it.
Look, she was going to be seated sooner or later. She should have been seated sooner. I think it's terrible that she wasn't seated. She'll sign that discharge petition. And remember, it takes some time for a discharge petition to...
Shut up.
Has finally released the body of its longest held hostage. Like previous hostage returns,
we've already gone past it. Everybody, we just move
it's
on.
not going to get what you want
Yeah.
during the shutdown. But as I said, they may get what they want over the coming weeks and months.
Charlie, we have news, which is that
Okay,
Senator
here it
John
is.
Cornyn has voted yes. So you see there on your screen, 60 yes, 40
There it
nay.
is.
And
We've
that
lost,
means that this
people.
procedural step is moving forward. As we've already been talking about, this also means that now House Republicans, well, all members of the House, are going to be rushing back to Washington, D.C. if they are not already there. We're going to bring back in our colleague, Kevin Fry,
I'd like to know what our chances
MSNBC
are
Capitol Hill
in the
reporter.
House
Kevin,
before I go. I can't.
if you're there, tell us what is happening right now where you are.
On this vote, the yeas.
All right, so you've laid it out perfectly, which is that now John Cornyn has cast this last final vote. We have hit the 60-vote threshold to overcome the filibuster. This means that this first key procedural step, which we have not seen happen over the course of the last several weeks, they have attempted
Shutdown's
this
not over. It's
multiple
gotta go to the
times
House,
to
people.
overcome the filibuster
So I can
on this
tell you.
basic CR to advance to the next stage to ending the
Thank
government
you,
shutdown.
Ted.
Yes,
That hurdle has finally
coming
been
through
jumped.
again.
Now we need to see
Oh,
this bill come
thank
together,
you.
that all the
And
text
we're going
is
to need to help a lot
finalized,
of people.
and then
Yeah.
we
That's what this
are
money
waiting,
will be used
I
for,
believe,
people
another
must
2
have heard.
votes in the Senate.
Not that I have
correct
to,
my
I've always
Senate
had.
procedural math there
I
if I'm
always
wrong.
had. And I
Before
know
this
y'all
is
trust
done
me.
in the Senate.
I
Now,
just
the
want to say that
timeline
to
on
the new
that,
people.
we will get probably some clarity from Senator John Thune, the top Senate Republican, the majority leader, presumably in the next few minutes whenever he takes back to the Senate floor, is my assumption here. And then he will lay out what the timeline looks like for actually voting on final passage of this legislation.
So yeah, whenever this is playing, it seems like my voice can't go. My mic is the worst. I'm not sure. So what I'm going to do here is, Laura, I got to take care of stuff. I've got editing. I just wanted to get this up, and I thank you for showing up. You don't have to stay any longer. I think we know what this means. Well, what I hope to find out by tomorrow, guys, is what's the likelihood of everybody in the House voting the wrong way? We'll see. But the first half of our loss, after the biggest win we've had as Democrats, as lefties, as progressives in a very long time, has just been handed to us by the 8 people you see on their screen. And I implore you to meet me on the 20th in DC, in their offices, not on the ground, not in the grass, not at the park, not with picket signs. You can bring a petition if you'd like. If I were you, I'd make sure to bring a camera and leave my phone at home because they're hacking them. I'd bring a pencil and a pen. I'd bring pictures of Epstein. I'd bring the pictures of the dead girl who just wrote the book who killed herself because she was molested and abused by Epstein. I'd bring all of those pictures with me, and I'd leave them, and I'd make sure I get them printed out with sticky backs so I could post it on to all of their doors as I begged them to remove this regime. If I were you, I'd meet you there on the 20th. I bring cameras and I leave my phone at home because they're hacking them. But I definitely bring pictures of the people starving and being destroyed in this country and others. The boats. You can print them out. You can bring a petition. You can bring a pencil or a pen. But if I were you, I'd be there. And then I'd make sure for the rest of my fucking life, the 8 people you see at the bottom of that screen down there will not live happily or sleep calmly as long as I'm around. That's what I would do. I love all of you. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for being a part of this fight. I will not stop fighting despite my anger. I'm not going to go jump off a ledge. What I'm going to go do is strategize with Malcolm Ritchie tomorrow and find out how to win again. They will not break me. They will not break you. You have the right to be sad, upset, angry, hit something, punch something, and then get back up tomorrow. There's a fight to be won. I'm here. I'll lead the way. I give you my word.
Right behind you. Right
The
beside
leadership
you.
of the Democrats on the House.
Thank you. Laura's always been right beside me. It's the wing. It's the wind beneath the wings. This entire organization, all of you don't know who you are. I'm not going to name all the names, but all of you in that writers' lounge, all of you on that Spec Ops team. Let this hit you hard. Shed your tears, and then tomorrow we fight.
Tomorrow we fight.
I'll see y'all. You can stay on as long as you want, my friend. I'm going to head on out.
Oh, I'm going to head out too, but you're going to leave this up for the folks?
Yeah, I'll leave this up for
Like so many have said before,
I'll keep an eye on the chat.
The real question is, are you ready to meet this moment? And I think that is going to be on the mind and on the lips of a lot of elected officials and strategists and voters going forward, because we've talked a lot tonight about the role that institutionalists play in cutting these deals, and in this deal in particular. But it's always important to remember that a lot of the young voters that came out on Tuesday do not trust the institutions at all, and quite frankly want to see them, figuratively torn down and something else rebuilt. So when you put all your faith and trust in the institutions, and also with an administration that has never shown that they wanted to play by the rules, you do have to ask yourself, are these leaders ready to meet this moment? And whether you're running for president in 2028 or you've got a seat that you're running for next year in the midterms, the voters are going to ask, can you actually fight for us? That is a key and important question.
Thank you, Kevin Fry, Basil Smikle, and Charlie Dent. That is going to do it for our breaking coverage tonight. Thank you for joining us. We're going to see you next week.